Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Let us continue Bhagavad Gita chanting. Dehi nityamavadhyoyam Dehe sarvasya bharata Dehi nityamavadhyoyam Dehe sarvasya bharata Tasmat sarvani bhutani Natvam shocitumarhasi Tasmat sarvani bhutani Natvam shocitumarhasi Let us chant the entire shloka together. Dehi nityamavadhyoyam Dehe sarvasya bharata Tasmat sarvani bhutani Natvam shocitumarhasi Dehi nityamavadhyoyam Dehe sarvasya bharata Tasmat sarvani bhutani Natvam shocitumarhasi. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I welcome you all to Prarthana Madan. Let us start this analysis. First, let us see the word split. Dehi nityam avadhyah ayam Dehe sarvasya bharata Tasmat sarvani bhutani na tvam shocitum arhasi. This is the entire word split. While splitting words, we just saw nityam avadhyah ayam. That is the word split. In between, you are seeing a symbol which is S-like. There is a symbol S just before yam. Avadhyoyam. That is actually called as the avagraha chinham, avagraha symbol. That symbol is used whenever there was an akara before joining. Before joining the words avadhyaha and ayam, there was a in the word ayam. To indicate that there was a prior akara, we are adding s, that kind of a symbol there. It is called avagraha. Okay. Now let us see here. Dehi. We have a deha, shariram. The thing that resides within this shariram is called dehi, which is the atma. The atman resides in this shariram. So it is dehi. The one which has a hand is called kari. Kara is the hand. Kari is the one which has the hand. Do you know what is the animal referred to by this word kari? Kari, the one which has a hand, no? Hand-like thing. What is it? An elephant. See, an elephant has a hand, so it is called a kari. Okay, so like that, the one that has that hand is called kari. Here, the one that has the deha is the dehi, which is atma. So atma possesses the body, which is inside the body. Dehi nityam. Nityam, see, it is shashvata. It is nityam, eternal, unchanging. Avadhyaha. In the previous shlokas, Shri Krishna had already said Achedyoyam, Adahyoyam, Akledyo, Shoshya evacha has already been said. he is again summarizing the arguments here. In the previous shloka that we saw yesterday, Ashcharyavat pashyati kaschidenam, Ashcharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah. So we had seen that this Atma, hearing about it is rare, speaking about it is rare, understanding about it is even rare. Thousands of people listen to it, but only very few understand. So he is again coming back to the Nityatva argument. Why should Arjuna not grieve upon this war when he kills his relatives, his own Bhishma, Drona, Acharya, everyone, Putraha, Pautraha, grandsons? Why should he not grieve? It is a valid reason to grieve over. However, here he says, Nityam, the Atma that is inside the body, that is eternal, that does not die. Avadhyaha, it cannot be killed. You only have a delusion that it can be killed. The Atma can never be killed. Avadhyaha ayam, ayam refers to this Atma. Dehe sarvasya bharata, it is there in all of us, all the beings. Tasmat sarvani bhutani na tvam shochitum arhasi. Tvam means you. Tvam, tum. Tvam shochitum na arhasi. You should not grieve over this act of your killing your own relatives in the war. That is in the dharmic context that we are speaking, not in a regular context. So this is a dharmic context in which Shri Krishna is giving Upadesha to Arjuna. So the first Upadesha he began was in 2.11. In the 11th shloka he said, Ashocyan anvashocastvam prajnavadamscha bhashase gatasu nagatasumscha nanushocanti panditaah anushocanti na anushocanti panditaah. Do not grieve over. Panditas do not grieve over. So here that anushocha na shochitum arhasi. So he is completing the loop here. So whenever a teacher begins a concept, let us say we begin a concept and we go through here and there, all the examples are provided, we should again come back and complete the loop by completing the topic. That is the logical conclusion that we are taking to. So here Krishna takes his argument of Nityatva to a logical end. That is what we are seeing here. Thank you very much.